Some artworks are not simply created, they are judged. And sometimes, that judgment becomes louder than the artwork itself. Across history, there have been paintings, sculptures, and images that were not rejected because they lacked skill, but because they crossed invisible cultural boundaries. They were called scandalous, inappropriate, corrupt, or immoral. Yet many of these same works are now preserved in museums, studied in universities, and protected as cultural heritage. The label, immoral, in art history rarely stays fixed. It shifts depending on who is looking, and at what time. In the 19th century, for example, the French realist painter Gustave Courbet challenged artistic conventions by removing mythology and idealization from the human body. His work L'Origine du Monde was not controversial because it lacked technique, but because it refused to disguise reality. For many viewers of the time, that directness felt unbearable. Earlier centuries had already developed ways to protect the viewer from such direct confrontation. Renaissance artists like Titian or Sandro Botticelli often placed the nude body inside mythology or religious narrative. Venus, goddesses, saints, and allegories created emotional distance. The body could be seen, but it was framed as something symbolic, not immediate. When that frame disappeared, discomfort increased. But what does immoral actually mean in art? Often, it is not about the artwork itself, but about how society interprets visibility. The human body becomes a site where culture projects its fears, beliefs, and rules. What is acceptable in one era becomes forbidden in another. What is hidden in one society becomes celebrated in another. In ancient Greece, the nude body was often associated with athletic excellence, discipline, and ideal beauty. In contrast, later moral systems, particularly in medieval and Victorian Europe, reframed nudity through ideas of modesty, temptation, and control. The same form was reinterpreted through entirely different moral lenses. Even within a single period, contradiction existed. The Victorian era publicly promoted strict moral codes while privately collecting classical nude art. What was forbidden in public often survived in private collections, academic studios, and elite spaces. This tension reveals something important. Morality in art is not only about ethics. It is also about power. Who is allowed to see, who is allowed to create, and who decides what meaning an image should carry. Modern artists continue to challenge these boundaries. The nude body evolved from idealized forms into more psychological and expressive representations. Painters like Egon Schiele pushed the figure into uncomfortable emotional territory, showing vulnerability, distortion, and raw human intensity. These works were also labeled immoral in their time. Today, they are considered essential to modern art history. What changes over time is not always the artwork. It is the viewer. Museums now protect many works that were once condemned. The same images that were hidden or criticized are now displayed as part of humanity's cultural memory. The word, immoral, fades, replaced by words like historical, aesthetic, or important. And yet the tension never fully disappears. Because every generation still draws a line between what it considers art and what it considers unacceptable. In the end, immoral art is rarely about the art itself. It is about the moment in history when people were not ready to see it.